Hello friends, welcome back to A Knitter's Life. I am Christina Wall, as most of you know, although there have been quite a few new friends, so I probably should do a better job of introducing myself. But I am Christina Wall, and I'm a mama who loves to talk about creativity and creating a beautiful but simple life. So you can find me on YouTube. The podcast is on the YouTube channel, A Knitter's Life. You can also find me on Ravelry. There's a wonderful, chatty, happy, wonderful group over there, A Knitter's Life podcast, and we would love it if you all joined us. And there is also, you can find my Ravelry patterns. I have a knitting pattern shop on Ravelry, and you can find that either by searching A Knitter's Life, or you can search the Ravelry designers under Christina Wall, W-A-L-L. So you can find me those ways. You can also find me starting very, very soon, probably by the time this gets up, over on Etsy. Spurred on by a couple of you, I have decided to open an Etsy shop filled with some of my little funny bags that I make, my little whimsical sacks. Whimsical project sacks, or sacks of whimsy, perhaps I should call them. But I have a few of those to show you guys. But I thought I'd join you guys here in our playroom. And if I could show you around me, if you looked really closely, you'll see that this place is full of toys. But I've creatively hidden it from you to look to look more, a little neater. And anyways, I have been busy decorating for fall, and I thought it would be fun to join you from a place that kind of looked a little more autumnal. So we are in the midst of this lovely dance that summer and autumn do together, where they can't decide who's going to go and who's going to stay. Autumn always wins, but in the meantime, they're doing this little dance, and we have very cool mornings and warm afternoons. So we just got the first little bit of rain that we've had in about a week. And before that, last week we got some rain. We were so thankful for it. We hadn't gotten rain for 5 weeks. So it was quite dry, getting very, very dry. So we were thankful to see the rain. I know some of you over in England, you get too much rain, but you do have lovely gardens. So, you know, there are some benefits. We have to water a lot, and things are quite dry. So anyways, we were very, very grateful for the rain this morning. We are in the midst of the Fall in Love knit along, and that's going really well over in Regina's Ravelry podcast group, and over on her podcast, and you can find her podcast at Her Blatz Regina. And you can find that on YouTube, and I will provide a link because I know all of us lovely Americans don't do well with spelling things like that. So I will put a link. Okay, I should speak for myself. I shouldn't lump all of my lovely fellow Americans into spelling hard names. I don't do very well spelling things. So for people who are like me, I will provide a link down below in the YouTube channel so that you can find the lovely Regina. And she has a new podcast up, and she talks all about the her goings on and her her fall in love knit along and what she's doing. And it's kind of fun to host this together. You feel a little bit more like you're knitting along with somebody else, but of course all of you guys are knitting along with us too, so it's really a lot of fun. So there's already some finished objects up in the project threads, the finished object thread in her group and in my group, A Knitter's Life on Ravelry, and those will be eligible for prizes, so keep them coming. Both of us are busy gathering prizes, and we have some lovely sponsors so the prizes should be coming in. But if any of you who are Etsy makers want to support, or what's the right word? Sponsor a prize, get in contact with either Regina or myself. So anyways, we'd love to show off your lovely handmade things and Of course, I'm sure all of you knitters would love to have some of those too. So, but I've been busy. I made something fun for a prize giveaway, and I made a bag. I made it out of, well, let me go get a book, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Last time I shared with you one of my favorite books, Autumn by Susan Branch, and I think she's just such a fun, cozy author. And when sometimes I sit in bed before I fall asleep, I look at her book just to kind of get my mind in the right, I don't know, atmosphere, mentality for changing seasons and getting ideas for what I'm going to do with the boys, and creative walks that I can take with them and things like that. So sometimes I sit in bed and I read this book before I fall asleep to get in that frame of mind. And one of the things that I read that I loved, she says, make romance with fabric. Quilts make great tablecloths. Add a ruffled lace slip. Plaid blankets and duvet covers. Appliqued felt blanket stitch throw pillows. Baskets of knitting. Pillowcases embroidered in fall motifs. Bright colored throws over couches and chairs. Festive pot holders and old antique stored dishes. I mean, doesn't that sound lovely? So I thought, oh yes, I need to make a project bag for the Fall in Love knit-along that adds romance with fabric, okay? Just not something plain, but something that adds romance with fabric. And of course, her first one that she mentions are quilts. So I thought, okay, I've got to do something with a quilt. And lo and behold, when I went to my favorite little thrift store where I look for antique linens, which is one of my favorite pastimes. Thankfully, they're open until like 9 o'clock, so I can slip out when my husband's at home after I've put the kids to bed, and I can slip out from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and go look for vintage linen sometimes. But anyway, this is what I found. It is an adorable, or it was an old placemat. And so it was the perfect size to turn into a project bag. And it's quite a big project bag, which is so nice. I've stuffed it up so you can see how big it is. Definitely, you know, you could fit 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn in here, or 3. So it would be like a sock to small shawl bag. And I didn't line it because I loved the inside. You can see I stuffed it with bags. I make great stuffing. I loved that it was the hand quiltedness on the inside, so I didn't line it. It is lined, but that's just the placemat. And then I embellished it with buttons and a doily on it. So that is going into the prize box for the Fall in Love knit-along, and I just love its bit of whimsy. It's a lot of fun. So that is going into the prize box. But there's another prize. While I was there at the place where I look for antique linens, I came across a bundle of old vintage aprons. Isn't it cute? So I pulled one out that looked like fall, with its orange and its green and its yellow. And because to me, fall is a time about getting back into cooking and cozy soups and stews and beef bourguignon and pies and tarts and pear crumble and all those lovely things. So I thought that one of you could use a new but vintage apron for all of that lovely fall baking that you're going to be doing. So that's going into the prize bin for somebody else. And then the lovely people at Stitchcraft Marketing sent me some eucalyptus to give away to you guys. So I'm going to be doing a little tutorial on how I wash my hand spun after I spin it and get it all poofy and lovely and blocked out. So I will be doing that, but in the meantime, and that will be on the YouTube channel. But in the meantime, I've set aside 2 of these bottles for the Fall in Love knit-along people who are knitting away. So 2 of these bottles will be winging its way to some of you lovely people. This is the Eucalyptus Unscented, and then this is the Eucalyptus Rapture. And both of these have lanolin in it, which I love because it puts that natural oil back into the wool, and you don't have to rinse it out either, which is so nice. So anyways, that's going into the prize box for some of you. So there's lovely things being knit. Keep them coming. It's so fun. One of the things that I finished for the Fall in Love knit along, which I should post probably just in the chatter thread because I'm not eligible for prizes, is this lovely hat by Brownie Knits. This is her one of her newest pattern releases. I haven't blocked it yet, but I need to. It is the Riley Bryn hat, and I will post a link to it on the in the Ravelry group. I'll have a podcast notes thread. Boy, I'm really with it today. I love this hat. It's so squishy and cozy, and it sits just perfectly here. This is actually for JK. Isn't that lovely? So I think I need one because it just covers your ears and is just the perfect hat. So I really loved, oh, here's the cuckoo clock. You guys are going to hear the cuckoo. I loved it. It was such a fun knit because you're not crossing cables every other row. You're crossing them like every 7th row, and they all cross at once. So it's really, really easy. Her decreases too into the hat, they just melt away. I don't know if, I'm not going to be there. Can you see it? They just decrease so well, and they look so nicely. I always like it when hats look thought out in the decreases, and she did a very, very good job thinking this one out. So I would highly recommend that. Again, it's the Riley Bryn hat by Brownie Knits, and I will post a picture. You can find her on Ravelry too, and of course, many of you know she hosts a lovely podcast too. Tomorrow we are headed out together to the wool gathering. I don't know if I'll get this up tonight, but I hope I will. It's Friday. What is today's date? It's Friday, September 18th, I think? No, yes. So hopefully if I get this podcast up tonight, you guys will have some forewarning. And if you are headed over to the wool gathering in Ohio, come and say hi. I love meeting you guys. It's so fun. You guys are all such lovely people. So it's fun to see you in person. But I did finish that, and I was so happy. I gave it to JK for his birthday. As many of you who've watched the podcast know, we are in the midst of high birthday season here. I've got 2 down and 1 to go. All of my men in my life, my husband and our 2 boys, have birthdays. End of August through September 23rd is the last one. So it just goes boom, 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 and it's quite intense here. But it's also fun. It's just like the party season, but that's basically all we do for the month of September. So we had a fun big birthday for John. That was the first one, and we had a pirate party. And we had some of his little friends, and even JK and I got into it, and we dressed up, and it was a lot of fun. He really enjoyed it, and he was such a gentlemanly host, making sure all of his friends had food and were enjoying the games. He would just go around and help them with anything. It was so endearing to see. It was just very, very sweet. So then we had JK's birthday, and that was a lot of fun. We had planned to go up to South Haven, we love South Haven. It's not too far away, and we love to sit on the beach there, and the boys love the sand and the waves. But the day that we had planned to go, the weather was really inclement, and there was a beach warning with bad surf and rip currents, so we decided to not go. There was also rain that was forecasted, so we decided not to make the long car ride and up and back in the same day and go. So we still need to get to South Haven this year before the end of the year somehow. I don't know how, but we would love to. But instead, what we did is we took the boys on a really fun caboose ride. There's a transportation museum here in our city, and they do some really cool train rides throughout the year. And this one was a really reasonably priced one, and it had been raining that day, the first day of rain in 5 weeks. It was wonderful. So not a lot of people came out to it, which I was sad for them, but it was great for us because we had basically a whole caboose to ourselves, and we really enjoyed it. The boys just loved it. They were over the moon. And then we had a fun picnic, and the following day we went apple picking, and Arthur was really getting into it because this year he's just very aware of his surroundings. At 2, you know, you want to go in, well, he's almost 2. You want to go and investigate everything, and we you know, he kept on picking up an apple and biting into it, and I'm thinking, oh no, he's picking up all the rotten ones. But he survived. He's okay. He ate a lot of apples, and we took home a few half-eaten ones too in our bag. But hey, that's part of the fun of learning all about the joys of apple picking. So it was a fun weekend. So this weekend we also have another family party for the September birthdays. So we have that coming up, and then Arthur's birthday, and he'll be 2. And that's the pumpkin delight that I have in the oven that I need to go take out. So sorry about the beeping, but I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. If you guys could pop through the screen right now, you could come over for a cup of tea and hot pumpkin cake, which would be great. I'm drinking pumpkin spice rooibos. I'm all about the pumpkin. Arthur has figured out how to say pumpkin now, and it's so cute. He hasn't figured out that he's going to get a pumpkin soon, but he thinks they're really cute. He goes, pump, pump, pump. So he thinks they're quite cute, which is I can't wait to see him when he gets to pick out his pumpkin. But anyways, so we are 2 down in the birthday roundup and 1 to go. So I do feel a little bit like I'm on a marathon, but it is very festive, so it has its pros and cons. Okay, what else? I did finish something else. Yay! Just in time for the warm weather to still appear, I finished my Bonnie tank top, and this is the Bonnie pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I made it out of linen. I made it out of Lindy chain by Knit Picks. So it is really nice and lightweight and very cool, which I was very happy since it's been quite warm in the afternoons. So it was definitely a fun knit. It was perfect for me because right now at this stage in life, there are times where I really need just plain stocking knit stitch. The pickup line for school is an excellent example where plain stocking knit stitch or socks come in handy, but I did a lot of this or finishing this up when I was in the line for pickup school. So, and it has just a little bit of lace, which keeps it interesting. The lace is really easy, so I was able to just memorize it, and I didn't have to look at the pattern. So it's a fun, almost mindless knit, and I really enjoyed it. And I really like the Lindy chain. I was a bit wary of it, but I really liked it. So that was the Lindy chain by Knit Picks, and I'll have the colorway in the show notes. That's it for finished objects. I didn't get anything else finished up. So these are some of the things that, I did finish up something in the sewing arena. I did another one of my Mama Life Proof bags. These are, last time I showed you the bag that I had made, the first bag I had made for outdoor use when I was outside with the boys. That is that nice like plastic fabric bags that you can get at Marshall's or Home Goods. It's just their 99-cent bag. And I cut it up and I put a zipper in it, and I made a project bag. Well, I made a small, like sock size project bag. Then I found this one, and I love the stamps. They're stamps from all over the world. And I thought they were so cool, and it also seemed a bit fallish to me with the muted colors. So I needed a sweater sized one. So I made this into a sweater size bag. And I used the handle off of it to make just a little handle for myself. And it's great. It crinkles. But, you know, when you're outside with kids, that doesn't matter. So I'm quite pleased with it. As for works in progress, okay, the biggest one that I'm doing is I'm trying to finish up my Free Lady cardigan, and I'm on the second sleeve. I didn't bring it over here. I can't believe it. Well, if you're on Instagram a lot, you have seen the pictures of me knitting on it. I'm in the second sleeve syndrome, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there, and I keep on telling myself, like, hold out a big carrot, like something you really want to cast on or something you really want to do. I really want to cast on a worsted weight shawl. I have this it all planned out in my mind, and I really want to cast it on. So I am holding that out as my carrot for when I get my second sleeve done. And then I will show you. I'll show it to you before I steek it, okay? That's a promise. What am I working on? Well, I am working on, I needed something just another plain thing. Since I had finished my Bonnie by Tin Can Knits, I needed something just, again, really plain. And I decided to cast on, I had this amazing ball of Zauber ball. Isn't that amazing? It is absolutely gorgeous. Oranges and blues. So I decided to cast on a neckerchief. This is just a plain, simple, triangular shawl. And then every 10 rows, I row up 2 rows of garter stitch, and that's it. It's as simple as that. So I can't wait to wear this with a black turtleneck and jeans and boots. I think it will be really, really pretty. So I will have the colorway of the Zauber ball. I need to look it up. I lost the tag. So probably it's more like the tag was lost for me. I probably gave it to Arthur and it ran away. So that's some plain Jane mindless knitting that I've been working on. With all these birthdays, it's sometimes hard, just you know, you're doing so much to get ready, or there's just a lot to think about in this September time. And so it's really nice to sit down and have something really plain to work on. There's definitely seasons of my life where I need plain knitting. I am in the September portion of the Life of Leaves shawl, and this is my shawl that I designed a year ago, and it kind of goes along with the fall and the changing leaves. So it has August chart, September chart, October chart, and a November chart, which is so fun because it really coordinates well with our Fall in Love knit along. And how I'm doing mine this year is I'm knitting the chart for that month, in that month. So I've already knit August, and I've done the transition border, and I am doing the garter stitch transition border. I've done both, and so you can see the top is August. Then I've done the transition border, and then I am working on the September chart. So, and I know I mentioned that I was going to modify this for a lace weight yarn, but I was like, I already have lace weight yarn. I already did it in a lace weight yarn. I already have that in the pattern. And I decided I didn't really want to make it any bigger. I'm actually hoping to make 2 of these shawls out of this one gigantic skein. This is Marmalade of Ponies by Alicia Goes Around. Isn't it gorgeous? It's this amazing color green that just, I don't know, I just want to swim in it. It's like emerald green goodness. This is Marmalade of Posies, and the handwriting is hard to read, but maybe you can read it. Parthia colorway. And again, it's by Alicia Goes Around. If you can see that. So it's a really nice yarn to work with. It's a superwash, 100% fine superwash wool, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm actually hoping to get two shawls. There's 900 yards in this skein of yarn. So, and John's teacher, his first grade teacher, has red hair, and I'm thinking, boy, she would look really, really lovely in that shawl. So I should probably, I could make one. The first one I finish could be her present for Christmas, and then I'd get ahead on Christmas presents. See, you can use the Fall in Love knit along to get ahead on Christmas presents. Yay! So I think I have another pair of socks on the needles, but how many pairs of socks can you see, right? I am enjoying it though. It's a Croy. Okay, I'll get up and get it. All right, I got it. It is this fun colorway. Here, cover it up. It's greens and purples and blacks. And for some odd reason, it just seemed to be September, October colors to me, even though it wasn't the traditional orange colors. And let's see, I've got quite a few paper. This is my sock bag, so I have quite a few sock. I think this one just says mix on it, but I can't believe that that's the colorway. All right, is this part of the Patton's Croy sock yarn? Okay, bramble stripes, that's what the color is. So the color of this one is bramble stripes, which makes sense. There's berries and green and white for the blossoms. So that's fun. I am enjoying that, and those are fun and easy. I am enjoying my sock book. As many of you know, I'm working on this little, just for me and my personal use, but I have heels and toes. I'm really, really enjoying using it and learning different heels and toes. I did finish a pair of socks for JK, and I gave them to him for his birthday. Speaking of which, I probably should start a pair of socks for Arthur for his birthday, because I gave a pair of socks to John for his birthday, and then a pair of socks to JK for his birthday. But I haven't started Arthur's, so I better do that. While I was up, I decided to get my Flea ladies cardigan because it is quite pretty. So you can see I've done the body, I've done one sleeve, and I'm working steadily on the other side. Not quite there yet, see? But so close, so close. Let's see. Yes, see, I'm so close. It's funny, I used to knit sweaters all the time, and I always had a sweater going on the needles, or I was always designing a sweater. And I never had second sleeve syndrome. Never, ever. And I think it was because I was in the habit of making sweaters, and now I haven't been in the habit of making sweaters, or the sweaters that I've been making have been tiny for Arthur. And they go really fast. I mean, those sleeves, oh my goodness, they go so fast. So I think it's just that I'm really out of practice, because I never get second sock syndrome. I love making socks, but I used to, when I used to get that second sock syndrome. So I'm just thinking I need to prep myself. I need to train myself, be in better training, make more sweaters. The other thing that I've been working on is, look at this, making tons and tons of rolags and this is all from that wonderful black box that Louette sent out. It was their July fiber box. And they have asked me to be part of their Spinzilla team, and I am quite honored. It's quite amazing to be asked to join a team, and how could I say no? I'm just totally thrilled and over the moon. So I said yes. So I signed up for Spinzilla, guys. It is so much fun. I think there's still room in the Louette team, so if you want to head over to the Spinzilla website, you can sign up. It looks really exciting, and Louette's planned some really nice giveaways and thank you packages for spinning, so that's definitely worth checking out. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys, because I'm looking at the clock and I have to leave to go pick up John from school, and I have to wake Arthur up to take him. It's always so sad. Arthur has been taking later naps these days, and so I have to wake him up in order to go and pick up John from school, but somehow it all works out. That the second children are just so easygoing, aren't we? I wanted to show you, I've made some of my bags of whimsy. You know, you've seen some of my project sacks that I've made for myself. Well, several of you really encouraged me to start my own Etsy shop and to put these for sale for you guys. So these are little sacks that I have made out of the linens that I love to go hunt for. So vintage linens that I've cut apart and sewn together. They are lined sacks, so each sack is lined, and it's a true drawstring. So when you pull the ribbon, it does draw together. This little sack, it's the Birds of Happiness sack, and it has sweet crocheted edging at the top from a doily that I cut apart. And then there's this one. And this is some vintage linen and vintage doilies and vintage buttons. And then this one is lined with a vintage pillowcase that I found. And here's this one. I love this one. I think it's so sweet and so delicate. They're like just little whimsy sacks. And then I have put on the back of each one my label. I'm so thrilled. So, and then these, I found this beautiful wool. This is just, it seems so fallish to me. And then I put a doily on it. These bags are, this particular one is gusseted at the bottom, and then it has the label on the back. And then this one too. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. I want to keep them all. They're all my little fun little creations, but I should put them up in the shop and send them off to you guys so that you can use them for your project bags and have beautiful bags of whimsy. So they will be up in my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is A Knitter's Life, and you can find me there. And hopefully I'll be making some more, especially if you guys like them. So these wool sacks are lined as well. So all of them are lined, and all of them are true drawstring bags. So anyways, I will talk to you guys soon, hopefully. It always goes by too fast. But I hope to catch you guys over in the Ravelry group. And in the meantime, happy knitting, you guys. Bye.